What's the pettiest reason you've rejected someone? No matter what evidence I presented, even if I went and bought a snake skeleton, she would never believe that snakes had bones. Her name was one letter off from my mom's. I love this whole thread. Everyone reads like the B-plot of a Seinfeld episode. I was 13 and had been dating a girl for about 2 months. We were playing Jenga and I noticed that she only drew from the middle, never once from the sides. It made me feel like she was timid and boring. At the moment I lost attraction to her and broke up with her not long after. All these years later, I'm timid and boring and she's absolutely wild. I got rejected because I was a Libra. His name was Phil. My name is Lil. First day he visited my apt, he opened the kitchen cabinet without asking, saw my kids' vitamins and said ooh gummies. And started to shove them in his mouth. She had the same name as my mom. I just couldn't. I was once rejected by the color of my text bubble. I have an Android, she has an iPhone. It was not meant to be. Edit. Rip my inbox. Thanks. Really nice guy. Looked just like my dad's old high school photos. Couldn't get past it. He didn't have soap at his apartment. Even by the third date, no soap anywhere at his place, no dish soap even. He never smelled or anything, but just weirded me out. They wouldn't let their dog walk when they walked their dog. Would carry the poor little fucker around. He used too many exclamation points. Not me, but a girl I hung out with in high school once dumped a boyfriend because she didn't like his socks. She's married with 2 kids now. Her husband's got mad sock game, obvi. I was the one rejected, but the reason I was given was, I've been rejected a lot, I want to know what it feels like to reject someone. Their best friend told me they were interested in me too. I blocked someone once because he used emojis in weird ways. Hey, how's it going? Biceps, I see you live close by. Maybe we could hook up, call me hand, like bitch. I'm not here to learn ASL, stop it. We had promised to see the same movie together and when I showed up to go see the film they had already seen it. She ate a banana sideways. Would hold it horizontally, peel it and take bites from the side. They texted me, "Wow," instead of hi. The way he smelled like cooking oil or something weird, and his whole house did. It was overpowering. I couldn't do it. He thought Vikings were mythical creatures created by Hollywood. Then talked about how this TV show Tudors was interesting and not knowing that Henry V was a real king. Although I do understand that the TV show is not faithful to history at 100%. Also he stated that math was not real, because one apple is not the same as other apple and how math can explain that. Basically way too ignorant, it was complicated to have a decent conversation. What's something that people glamorize but it's actually just extremely toxic? TikTok trends that challenge or test trust in relationships. It's not funny or cool to mess with someone's feelings and trust just for more views. Working long hours. Huge weddings you can't afford. Being sleep deprived. Pursuing a romantic interest after they've turned you down. Be yourself. You're perfect just the way you are, and never let anyone change you, are double-edged swords that enable horrible people to justify continuing to be horrible or continue destructive behaviors that harm themselves or the people around them. Sometimes people need to change. People that describe their relationship as, when it's bad, but when it's good it's like nothing you've ever known, or some variation of this. Like NAHHH, that screams abusive to me. Romantic comedy behavior. Celebrity culture. Social media. Treating disabled people as if they were there just to inspire non-disabled people. Just let them be, it's not their job to inspire you. Edit. My first award, thank you. People filming themselves while giving money or food to homeless people. Working overtime on a daily basis. Toxic positivity is totally a thing. I get that we shouldn't let every bad thing bring us way down, but people who constantly say, look at the bright side, or, it could be worse, you could. Yeah, it could be worse but things can still suck regardless. Toxic behavior presented as love language. By toxic behavior I mean not communicating emotions, not respecting boundaries, belittling, verbal, physical abuse. The entire concept of they are just misunderstood. That is not who they are not like that, basically, half of the typical rom-com behavior where one person needs to be the savior for the other. Alcohol. The modeling industry. As a recent university grad, I would have to say academia. I found many researchers glamorized working in academia as though it was the pinnacle of human accomplishment, where you could be paid to pursue your ideas and interests. But really it's a very toxic environment where everyone is stressed out, overworked, underpaid and trying to outdo one another. I'm sure it's not like this everywhere, just my experience. If you can't handle me at my worst. Okay, good advice. I won't handle you at your worst. The hustler mentality. Too many shitty takes or appalling events have someone commenting underneath that, "Hey, he's just making his bank, bro." Knowing there are things you can do but don't because it's bad for the community is part of being an emotionally mature adult. This is not aimed squarely at Martin Shkreli and his fanboys.